recognize you. If you could just raise your hand. Anyone? Oh, okay. Mohammed, I see your hand. Would you like to just say hello and introduce yourself and tell us when you got credentialed? Mohammed?
Hi Irene. Hi everybody. My name is Mohammed Sheikh Abdiaziz. I got my project management professional credentials on 25th of February this year, 2021. I'm glad to join you all. This is my first meeting, and I hope it will be interesting ride from here on. Thank you.
Right. Thank you, Mohammed. Karibu sana. Anyone else who got certified? Okay. All right. Just to let you know that we're also recording the meeting. So, for the sake of it's important for us to just mention that, because we usually share it with some of the people who didn't manage to attend. All right. So I would just like to acknowledge some of the board members. So if you could just quickly raise your hand. Board members? I see Steph. Steph, could you just say hello and say hi to the team?
Hi everyone, my name is Stephanie Jäger and I'm the Vice President Volunteers.
All right.
Welcome to this event.
Right. Thanks, Steph. Ahmed?
Hi everybody, I'm Ahmed, in charge of education and professional development. Nice to see everybody here.
Right, thanks, Ahmed. Ron?
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our first speaker event of the year 2021. I'm your secretary, and it's a pleasure. Thank you.
Right. Asante sana, Ron. So, Jean, as you say hello, you can now take it up from there, and then I will introduce our guest today. Jean, over to you.
Okay, good. Thank you very much, Irene. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to this very first chapter meeting. Like the board members have introduced themselves and also welcomed you. My name is Jean Mathenge. Everybody who knows me has known me as the VP Education and Professional Development, and we've been running a lot of the events with Irene in 2020. This year, I'm honored to be serving you as your president. We just got a couple of changes in the board this year. We haven't made any announcements yet, but we've been this has been effective from January, and the board has given me some additional duties. So I've stepped down as the education and professional development team leader, and that is now being taken over by Abdul Rahman, who you all know. So I hope everybody is, we'll get to talk a little bit more about that a little later, and also maybe in as we tell you about what is happening. I can see that Ken is here. Ken Mulugo is our new director of communications. Ken, maybe you can say hi. Everybody had a chance to say hi while I put up my screen. Go ahead and say hi to the team.
Hi, good afternoon.
Great. I don't know whether there's anybody else.
Yes, I don't know which position is the one you're talking about. Ah.
Okay, good. We have somebody's mic open. Maybe we can mute it. And then what I want to do is just to run through a very short presentation. Irene, our VP of events, has given me about 5 minutes to get this done before we start with our presentation. So because I realized that I noticed from some of them attendees that there are guests. So allow me just to speak really, really quickly about PMI Kenya. So today is a chapter meeting. We normally have this on the fourth Wednesday of every month. And the PMI Kenya is a local chapter of the Global Project Management Institute. So when you're saying PMI, that is Project Management Institute, I think we have over 90% of the attendees today are actually members. So welcome to all the members of PMI and PMI Kenya. PMI is, as you know, the world's leading association for those who are in the industry of projects, program portfolio management. The chapter, the Kenya chapter, is one of the fastest growing chapters in Africa. We have over 400 members. 50% of those, more than 50% of those are active participants. From an education perspective, we have, from a strategic and education perspective, we have very many, quite a few goals, but the main ones that we've been focusing on has been empowering our members with knowledge and skills and competencies, and growing the talent in project management, and also promoting knowledge about project management and entrenching project management as national competency in Kenya. Let me see whether this is good. Very good. Some of the facts probably you don't know about Kenya, or maybe you might have heard, is that we are one of the most active, not only one of the largest growing, but one of the most active chapters in Kenya. Approximately 10% of our members are committed volunteers. In fact, yesterday we had our first meeting with our new VP of volunteers, Stephanie, and we were speaking with the volunteers. Volunteering is the heart of PMI. And we only, in fact, all the board members are volunteers. Everybody who is working actually in the chapter is working as a volunteer. And so we're giving of our time, and as a result of that, we get what we call professional development units. Last year, our PMP credentialed members, as you know, we had an initiative, a PMP initiative, and we grew by over 30%, which is big. And this year we're hoping that we're going to be running a new initiative in 2021, and we're hoping to get more people credentialed, because as you know, the project management profession is growing. It is becoming more mature in Kenya, and a lot of roles are opening up for project managers. Our chapter has got very active special interest groups. We've got the credential seekers. We've got almost 400 people in those groups who are trying to get credentialed in one way or another. And remember, we have more than just PMP as a credential. We have Agile, we have got risk, we have scheduling, and we also have CAPM and program management and so on. We also have a Women in Projects that we launched last year. Very proud of this group, and I hope that we can be able to do more. I know there's, we can build more momentum in it. We also started an Agile Kenya, and an Agile or Discipline Agile, as Richard is our champion. We're beginning to grow this body a little bit more, and this year we're expecting to do a bit more on that. We also have a group on built environment. And the built environment, actually today's share and learn from our speaker, our guest speaker, is very much in touch with, aligned with our built environment, the focus that we have with project management in construction. And then, the PMI Kenya chapter has a very strong social media presence. Please, if you do not know where we are, or you're trying to connect with us, we have a website. We are on LinkedIn, we are on Facebook, Twitter, and you can talk to us in very many ways. Here's just a snapshot or a profile of the chapter. More than 54% actually today is credentialed members, and the majority of them are in PMP. So we have 2 program managers, we've got a couple of CAPMs, we have risk and agile, and we also have 1 business analyst, a professional business analyst. We are expecting to do a lot more this year, so you'll see that a lot of these numbers are going to grow. So the chapter meetings, this being our first one, ladies and gentlemen, and all our members, we're grateful that you've attended, and actually that, not just because of PDUs, although that's important, but why we have chapter meetings in the PMI, forum is so that we can network, number one. So you can post your LinkedIn, you can post contacts, you can try to connect with people who are on the group. Use the chat feature so that you can kind of get to see who's out there and connect with people and grow your network. We like to welcome new members and celebrate new PMPs like Irene did. And we've seen that we have at least 1 on the group today, but we've had very many who have joined the community especially since last year's PMP initiative. This is also an opportunity for us to do updates, to give you PMI updates, and to give you a lot of other information that we are running. You met a few of the people who are in the board, and they said hi, but really this is we are a whole bunch of us, and you can see a couple of their faces. Ron is here. Muna is our VP Finance. I know he's joining us soon. Irene is our VP of events. Stephanie also said hi. Steve, I believe I saw Steve. He's our new VP of membership. And we've got Abdul, who is the new VP of Education and Professional Development. Lynette, I believe, probably has just joined us. She's in marketing. And we've got Janet, who is our liaison in PMIF, and David, who's doing special projects. I think Janet might be already here in the has already probably checked in, and maybe we'll get to hear her voice at some point. And she's the one who does the soft side of project management. I just wanted to, in the updates that we want to give for what the chapter has been doing, this being the first chapter meeting of the year, I thought it would be a good idea for you to kind of see what we did and some of our key achievements, just key highlights. We launched the PMI, the PMP initiative with the board at our last AGM meeting, and that was in, I believe it was March, Ron, if I'm right. And we also collaborated. We expanded our collaborations regionally, and we had a very successful East Africa community states collaboration to celebrate the International Project Management Day. I hope a lot of you were in it. And this year you're going to see a lot more collaborations. We want to touch base with a lot of our chapters, not just regionally and within the East Africa community, but also globally. That picture that you can see there with the 50 is Janet with the PMIF group, and she does a lot of work with the youth, do a lot of tree planting, a lot of learnings with the younger groups, and it has really helped us also to do a bit of outreach in some sections that we haven't touched before. Last year, because of the kind of work that the chapter did with the PMP, we came forth regionally, and this was a big achievement for us. So I had to put that certificate there, just so that you can see that this chapter is really working, and you have team leaders who are really doing a lot of work. So thanks so much for this, for the board who helped, who supported it, who launched it, and for the team members who actually kicked it in, and including our trainers and all our providers. We also got featured globally when we won the Earth, the Youth Quake. Angela Mwangi, I believe, was the one who won from Kenya, and so that put us on the global spotlight, which was great. And then we also launched the Women in Projects Special Interest Group last year. So those are just a few things that we did. And of course, last year in December, our biggest month in getting credentialed members, we had 32 PMPs, which means that actually we were credentialing one person every month. And this was a big feat. It was a big milestone for the chapter. And so we want to congratulate all these people, all the 32 people in December who got credentialed. In case any of them are on the group, congratulations, guys, ladies and gentlemen, and we welcome you to this family. And you guys, you really did well to come in at the last month of the initiative. And then I believe these are in 2021. Robert Mohammed, we got Mohammed just now saying hi, and Samuel Wekesa also, who is in PMP, who also became PMP. So we welcome you all, and we hope that you can participate greatly in the chapter. What we have planned for this year, the goals are very much touching on membership, retention, and growth. And you'll be seeing a lot of this just being manifested in the activities that each of the dockets is going to be giving you. And we're going to go through a lot of this more in the AGM. If you're a member, you should have received a notice for the AGM, which is going to be on the 15th. And a couple of things that we've got planned for this year. You'll see a lot more share and learns, mentorship sessions. You're going to see a lot of invited speakers. We're going to focus. We're going to have a lot of regional collaborations. We have grown our contacts, and we've got a couple of events coming up this month, starting this month. We're also focusing a lot on disciplined agile, on the CAPM and PMP credentials. And we're also encouraging anybody else who is seeing other credentials that they'd like to do. If you'd like more support, please just contact your nearest volunteer. We are also opening up more volunteer activities, members. So if you want to participate in one way or another, where you can actually, where you can help to grow your learning, understand more about PMI, what does it entail? This is the best place to start as being a volunteer. And so Stephanie is going to be putting out quite a few of those roles. And please look at the VRMS, which is a volunteer system. We have somebody's mic on. Irene, if you can please mute everybody, thank you. And for everybody's information, we are working on a legislature on project management, and this is exciting for us because what it's doing is that it is trying to create some form of a legislative framework around the discipline of project management. And what you see today is that everybody calls themselves a project manager, and in one way or another, it has kind of tainted the credibility, especially where you find somebody who is not qualified or is not competent to run projects. And so this legislature is going to help us a lot, and we've got people who are helping us work on it. The board is very committed to doing it, and so we have a good start on this. We also want to have a stronger chapter, and that's what you're going to see going forward. So just a quick glance of what your some of the immediate activities that Irene and Abdul and the team have got lined up for us. This month, we've got the DA at the end of Disciplined Agile. There will be an overview of DA. Our champion is Richard Mago, and so he'll be running that for us on March the 30th. On the 6th, we had a lot of questions from people who have come in as PMPs, and they want to see, how do we earn PDUs? How do we report our PDUs? How do we stay relevant? How do we, become active members? So we're going to start a couple of sessions every month or so that you can understand how you're going to earn your PDUs. Okay. So the first session is going to be on April the 6th. We also we've got Women in Projects SIG, which is also around the same time. I think that's the 8th. I think I made a mistake on that. It's the 8th. Okay, thanks, Irene. And then we've got the chapter AGM, and that is going to be on the 15th of April. So please check your notices. This Ron sent this out last week. We need to give a 21-day notice, so we're well within the notice, and we appreciate everybody just logging in and participating as a member in the AGM, the annual general meeting. And then on the 15th, we have the certification sensitization. This is for the 2021 PMP initiative. It is exciting, ladies, and if you know of people who are still trying to get their PMP, this year we have got greater discounts, we have got more incentives. The amounts that you're going to be paying are going to be even lower. So please watch out for a lot more information on this. Ken, our Director of Communications, is going to be sending out some more communication on that. So these are just some of the ways that we're trying to make our days count. So even though maybe you've not seen too much activity, between January and February, a lot of work has been going in with the board, doing a lot of planning, all the dockets preparing their plans. And this is what you're going to start seeing rolling out starting March. And then we shall do a lot of announcements in April. So I just want to thank you. Irene, is my 5 minutes up? I'm just winding up now.
Yeah.
I'm normally known for doing a thesis kind of presentations, but you'll forgive me. So I just want to say thank you so much for everybody who has joined. This being our first chapter meeting, we're going to be seeing a lot of our board members, interacting with you, our other volunteers interacting with you. If you're not already a member of PMI, let me just encourage you to become a member. And once you become a member of the global PMI, you become a member of PMI Kenya. Our membership VP, who is Steve, we're giving out some guest passes, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be rolling these out. And that means that once you become a member of PMI at Global, there's a potential that you can be able to get a free chapter membership for this year. Please participate actively if you're a member. Talk to us, let us hear your voice. Join in the share and learns. We're putting so much effort into putting in a lot of these events. Also be a promoter and a champion of project management, and grow your talent in the profession. So with those many words, let me just hand it back to Irene, because I know she has got something for us, and she's going to introduce our speaker, Pan Wang. And I just want to, this is something that has been in the works, arranged for quite a while. And so Mr. Wang, let me just welcome you and thank you for taking the time to come and give us some of your experiences. So back to you, Irene.
Thanks, Jean. Appreciate it. Actually, I wanted to let, this is actually an example of one of our members who actually reached out and said, so it started out as a conversation. I don't know if you guys have seen the picture where guys show on Mombasa Road that the bridge, the new road, is passing above, or it looks like it kind of breaks the bridge that's at Bellevue. And it started out as a conversation on the WhatsApp group. And one of our members, Sospita, I don't know if you're there, and I'd want you to just say hi, actually volunteered and said, he knows some of the guys working in that space. And he actually introduced us to the speaker today, who is Pan. So I don't know if Sospita, you're able to unmute and just say hello.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Good evening to you all.
Sospita, are you there?
I'm there.
All right. Yeah, say hi to us, Sospita.
How are you, everybody, and Happy New Year. I think this is the first time we are meeting this year. I want to thank Tao and Pan for agreeing to speak to us today. And I know they are really given a lot of time for this particular preparation and to make sure that they address the topic of the day. And I also got a lot of support from Irene in terms of preparation. So thank you, everybody, and Pang and Tao, welcome. Please speak to us.
All right. Thank you, Sospita. I appreciate it. So, I don't want to go too deep to introduce Pan, and I think Tao as well has joined us. And I'll just hand it over to Pan, and he'll talk about some of. I know you notice a lot of works that are ongoing, and Pan actually works with one of the organizations that does this. So I'll just hand it over to Pan. Feel free to ask questions in the chat. I will help to moderate. And I think, Pan, it's over to you. If you could just take it from here. Thank you.
Thank you, Irene. Thank you, everybody. Okay. Let me share the document first. Have you, Irene, can you see my PowerPoint?
Yes, I can. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you so much. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. So impressive. I got my first impression of the PMI in Kenya, and so impressive, and so many field and PMI members. This is a very open and professional family team of whole Kenya professionals. I'm so impressive. So here I'm going to share with you about my experience and also my company here for the construction field in Kenya. My topic today is a typical Chinese contractor's experience and projects implemented in Kenya. My name is Pan Wang. Okay, let's go. I'm going to share with you about 4 parts of my PowerPoint. First, I'm going to introduce my company, AVIC ENG. Secondly, my personal experience in Kenya. And then we can talk about the challenges in project implementation in Kenya. Lastly, I would like to share with you about introspection and also improvements here when I work in Kenya for the past 10 years. First, my company name is China National Aero Technology International Engineering Corporation. This is the full name of our company. The short name is AVIC Engineering. Our headquarters is located in Beijing, and we were the top 250 international contractors in the year 2018. And we are also in the list of top 100 contractors in China. So the company was founded in 1980, and it is the large state-owned international engineering enterprise. Our mother company is called Aviation Industry Corporation of China, mainly dealing with the aircraft manufacturer and also sales of the aircraft. So we are the first Chinese international contractors which entered the ENR top 225. The company's principle, go beyond commerce, a better world. And at present, we are conducting professional works in the Middle East, Eastern Africa, South Asia, including the international engineering, overseas investment, domestic engineering, and also trade. So through the 4 decades of the development, we have a team of a professional management on the construction field with rich experience in market development and project operation. We have been developed into the enterprise with first-class competitiveness in the international markets of engineering construction field. Okay, here is our Kenya branch. It was established in 2010. It was the key regional head office of Eastern Africa. Totally, we have carried out 32 construction projects. Total amount comes to $1.4 billion, including 3 aviation facilities, 15 building projects, 11 infrastructures, 2 factory facilities, and 1 irrigation project. We have more than 20 project managers here, and also 120 engineers, including 60 local people with expertise of survey, architectural, structure, heating and ventilation, air conditioning, fire protection, and electrical. For the business layout, we have 5 countries together for the East Kenya regional offices: Kenya here, Rwanda, South Sudan, Burundi, and DRC. We're mainly focused on the aviation facilities project, but we are also dealing with the infrastructure projects, buildings, water projects, overseas investment, and also trade. Okay, here I'm going to share with you some of the experience of projects. First, aviation facility. This is the JPIA. Previously, it was called Terminal 4 project. Now it's called Terminal 1A. So the Nairobi International Airport reconstruction and also expansion project of Kenya. As the first important transportation hub in East Africa, the project includes the 3-story terminal and also the parking garage building and the surface parking lot. The project was handed over in 2014 to the client, Kenya Airports Authority. Total area is around 65,000 square meters. Total contract sum at the handover stage is around $90 million. This is the passenger apron remote stands. The total contract amount is around $23 million, and the total square meters is around 155,000. So this is also Terminal 1A, but it was an expansion of Terminal 1A. Now it's becoming the Terminal 1A departure building area. It's around 10,000 square meters, 3-story terminal. Now is the Terminal 1A arrivals next to the Terminal 1A departures there. Okay, this is the big project called Greenfield, also located in JKIA. Total contract amount was around $650 million, but unfortunately it was terminated in 2019 due to various reasons. But the project includes a new terminals, apron, taxiways, outdoor parking, and also the airport roads. So it should be the largest airport in the Africa, but I think it will be implemented again and restart again in the future. So here are some of the infrastructure projects, mainly on roads projects. First one is about the road construction at the county of Rumuruti. Total length is around 35 kilometers. Total contract sum is around $9 million. This is another road next to also in the Rumuruti, next to the C77 road. It's called A4. Total length is around 55 kilometers. Total contract sum is around $26 million. This is RWC 129, the road, and total length 38 kilometers, and total contract amount $17 million, also road project. This is another road called RWC 259, also 55 kilometers, $21 million contract amount. So this is an upgrading project to the bitumen standard. Total length 30 kilometers, and it was handed over in 2019. The president was there for the completion ceremony. This is a nearby road project, RWC 264. This is the third one, RWC 265. Now it's also handed over, 35 kilometers long, $17 million. So for the building projects, our company also have some of the landmark buildings here. This one, the UAV tower located at the uphill. It has 34 stories. It was the highest landmark building in Nairobi. This is the office block for the Victoria Bank at Two River area. 12 floors, including 4 basements. and also the ground parking and 7 floors of the office building. This is the Barabara Plaza. Now it is the headquarters for all the road institutions of Kenya, Kenya, Kera, and Kura, and also the engineering board. The total area about the built-up area is around 35,000 square meters. Also, we have the other blocks for the conference, with the 500 seaters in the inside. The total contract sum is around $31 million. Actually, we are finalized the total project. Finally, the final count figure is around $37 million. These are building projects of the apartments. The first one is the Nairobi West high-rise along the Langata Road. The other one is the PPLC Development Housing Project at Laurentian. 11 villas, 81 numbers of townhouses, 66 apartments. Total contract sum is around $26 million. This is another PPLC housing development located in Karen. Only villas, 45 villas. Total built-up area is around 100,000 square meters. Okay, this is the comprehensive lifestyle development at Ruka of the Limuru Road. The employer was Saito. It's an ongoing project. We are going to hand over this project by the end of June this year, I think. It has the number of modern apartments, a number of 408 numbers. The other one is the called Spring Valley Business Park, mainly for the office block. Then this is the Two River Development Project, building project. This is the phase 1, infrastructure only. Total contract is around $40 million. And for the shopping mall and office blocks is our phase 2. Okay, the investment here. First, we are going to talk about Two River. We are one of the investors, and also we are the contractors of the project. Two River Shopping Mall is currently the largest urban complex in East Africa, opened for business in Nairobi on the day of February 17th, 2017. The other one is the AVIC International Africa headquarters, known as the GBC Tower, Global Trade Center, located in Westlands, next to the YRPV. We have the office block is around 44 stories, super 5-star hotel, high-end residential houses, and also shopping mall. The total construction area is around 270,000 square meters. Total investor value is around $450 million. This is called AVIC Park, located in the Leisure Levingston area. Now is the headquarters of AVIC EMG here. We have 5 blocks here, totally 111 apartment units here. Total investment amount is around $32 million. Here are some of the certificates from NCA. And here are the recommendation letters from our employers. The Arsena Properties is the project management team for the Two River projects. The Kenya Airport Authority is the clients of our JKIA projects. Then the KPLC as the employer of the KPLC Housing Development Scheme. The Kenya Power Pension Fund. The last one is the UAP Tower project is employer called UAP Holdings Limited. Okay, after finish the introduction of my company. Here I'm going to share with my personal experience in Kenya. July 2011, I graduated from CAUC, my university full name, Civil Aviation University of China. I got employed by AVIC EMG Beijing headquarters. Then on the day of November 5th, 2011, I landed in JKIA. And how time flies. 10 years Kenya life here already. Okay, starting from the first 3 years I'm here in Kenya, working in Kenya, I was the quantity surveyor in the project of Terminal 1A JKI. The contract value is around $90 million. Meanwhile, we also dealing with the marketing department issues, mainly on the new tenders. I was the manager assistant. And then from July 2014, I became the contract manager and also the quantity surveyor. The project was the Terminal 1A arrivals, contract value of $30 million. Meanwhile, I was the marketing department manager dealing with tender issues. Okay, starting from 2017, I became the project manager for the project of Barbara Plaza, the headquarters of the road institutions of Kenya. Total contract value, $37 million. From May 2018 to date, I'm acting as I'm the assistant and board member, and also I'm the director of AVIC International Property Nairobi Limited. Here is the certificates of my university, Civil Aviation University of China. My major was the airport engineering and construction. These are the 3 projects I'm here during the past few years. The Terminal 1A departure, called Package 2, then Terminal 1A arrival, called Package 3A, and the Barbara Plaza. I'm in charge of the contract management, payment and certificate application, variation and quotations, contract claims, and also the subcontractors management. For the projects tendering, it includes the technical and financial proposals, price analysis, cost control, pre-negotiations with the client and consultants before the letter award. So this is the recommendation letters from my consultants, the Netherlands airport consultants. I got this recommendation letter in the year of 2018, and the team leader, Mr. Wim, is now in Holland and retired from work. So the other one is the consultant's recommendation letter for the 2 projects. So here is the certificate of my professional IPMP. Okay, so I got this certificate in 2019, and totally we have 16 classmates in the course training program, and 14 of people passed the exam, and I was the first place in the 14. Okay, here is the letter of appointment by the company as the accompanying lecturer, the certificate of excellence. It was certified by the company's internal training judges. You are invited to be the international lecturers in the company. The certificate is hereby issued as a kind of encouragement. My subject of the lecture was project management in construction, and the essay was recorded into the company internal training program for the newcomers of the colleagues. Yeah. So here I did some of the self-analysis for myself when I was rethinking my experience working in Kenya. The better understanding in the contract process, especially the FIDIC contract, is one of my advantages. As I'm dealing with the 3 projects, which are all under the contract conditions of FIDIC. So, contract manager experience make me feel much more understanding in the contract clauses. The other one is the interrogated knowledge in project management, also project tendering. I find many people on site which can dealing with the site issues very professionally, but they are not the good guys for project tendering. Also, some of the marketing department people, colleagues, they are not so familiar with the side issues dealing with the consultants. So I think for me, my experience, I work with the side issues and I also work with the project tendering. The knowledge here is much more integrated than the others. The other advantage here, I put here, is a lot of paperwork and writing skills. You know, for the construction field, many people they don't value the paperwork and about the skills of writing. They're mainly about dealing with about side issues here and there. But as a contract manager, I find the paperwork and also written English should be very important and valuable when you are dealing with the employer and also consultants, especially some of the disputes. Okay, then regarding about the disadvantage, I have to admit for the drawing issues, especially when we implement the project on site, and we need some of the ability of redesign. You have to think more than your consultants, architects, and also structural engineers. For the drawing and the redesign issues, I'm maybe main folks dealing with the contract. For the technical here, normally I need a very strong chief engineer. I work with my chief engineer very well. It should be getting improved in the future in my next few years here in Kenya. The other disadvantage here for myself is about finance, tax issues, KIA regulations. Previously, I just dealing with, doing the works of, did the works of contract and maybe side issues there. For the management here about finance, tax issues, I don't have so much acknowledgement to store here. So I think this is my weakness about finance issues. But I got to learn a lot during the past 2 years when I'm in charge of the AVIC property, Nairobi Limited. The finance team, especially the chief finance manager, has already he taught me a lot when I'm dealing with these finance issues. Okay, for the third part, let's talk about some challenges in project implementation in Kenya. The first one, the competition. There are so many contractors here, international contractors here in Kenya on the construction field. The Chinese contractors, Indian contractors, and also some of the very professional local contractors. During the past 2 or 3 years, the competition is much more fierce than that in the year of 2014 to 2013 there. You have to make your cost very low to get the job. You have to make your cost control on site very professionally to win to survive in the competition situation here. The second one is about the design and engineering. For almost every project of AVKNG, the design and engineering problem, almost every project will have such problem. For the design and engineering issues, if you don't treat this very seriously, it will definitely lead to the various variations, and also double work from the consultant team and also contractors team. And of course, the additional budget will be needed badly due to this variation and double work. So the next one is about cash flow. It's mainly about the delay payments. I use the word of a nightmare and disaster. So the big amount of delay payments for us dealing with the government jobs and also some of the private companies and development of housing. I can share with you the figure of the total amount of this delay payments figure. It's around 4 billion shillings here for every PNG only Chinese contractor about the pending payments from the government for all the projects. So it really make us struggle in the situation of these 2 years, especially when we have the COVID-19 situation here. The last one is about tax regulation. Tax regulation, as I mentioned previously, is the weakness of me, and I can see if you don't have your company, you don't have the proper understanding of the tax issues, then you cannot foresee the financial risk ahead. Then think about the poor profit because of the competition on site. The poor profit earned by your site teams very hard will not cover the unforeseeable financial risk ahead. Lastly, I would like to talk about the introspection and improvements we need for the future. First, the introspection. We need to sort out the key points of the lessons learned from the past experience. We're here around 11 years and many projects. We have many experience, good things and bad things. We need to sort out the key points to make sure the newcomers, new colleagues won't suffer the repeated loss of the project issues. Secondly, we should be sensitive to the new model of project implementation like PPP. We need to explore the new models of the project ways of doing. So, but before we get this project, currently we need to store knowledge and also get ready for such new things. Otherwise, we will be late from the others. Then we have to keep learning the contract clauses, technical specifications, the KRE tax laws. Make yourself learn from people and also from good and bad things, and let yourself be more, integrated of your knowledge, your mind. Okay, I would like to use the popular and famous wording sentences to end my presentation. It's called "Attitude decides everything." In both Eastern culture and also Western culture, these words are very famous. If we mark 1% for A, we have 26 letters. 1% for A, then we mark 2% for B, 3% for C. Then you will find the word attitude will be the 100% precisely. So we know sometimes we are facing the problem positively, or you face the problem negatively, the result there will be a lot of much different. Okay, so here is my presentation and also my share talk with you about how is a typical Chinese contractor, Chinese worker, engineer, how they work and thinking in Kenya, and how they experience dealing with Kenya people here. And again, thanks again to all of you. And I was very impressive when I realized the PMI Kenya chapter so professional. And thanks again. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Pan. I was trying to follow the deck on all the projects you've done, and it's actually quite impressive. I actually happened to be at JKIA at the time you were doing the terminals.
Okay.
Yeah, I was actually working in Kenyamese at the time, so I know how much it took, plus the fire. So it's amazing to see that. Thank you so much. So what I will do, and I have a question from Mercy, and Mercy is asking, given the cash flow challenges, how do you balance the risk of taking on more projects with past payments pending?
How do you balance the risk of taking more projects and past payment pending? Actually, during the year of 2015 and also 2016, the cash flow is not so bad. Okay, it's not so bad. But these 2 years, frankly speaking, we didn't get too many jobs compared to the others, and because of the cash flow issues. You don't have cash flow, and then you could even not survive in the country. So for us, these 2 years, we didn't get so many jobs. This is the truth. We have to struggle for this, maybe 2021 again, and then maybe survive during we got this penny payment paid by the government, and then we can survive at the end of this year. I know it's a big challenge here for all the contractors, even for the locals. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Next question is from Rupal. Rupal is asking, she says, thank you for your presentation, but what is the biggest challenge? I know you've mentioned quite a few, but she's asking, what was the biggest challenge you have faced managing projects in Kenya? The biggest, like the one thing, that completely throws you off.
What is the biggest, challenges
Yes,
of
the biggest challenges?
I think okay, cash flow is one. It's big, but not a big, like competition issue.
Competition?
Too many people.
Too many?
Too many.
Okay, and I guess all right. And to that question, then how do you stand out? How do you make sure your organization stands out above the competition?
You see, for us, first you have to if you want to stand out, the resources of the company will be very important. The equipment, machinery, and also the laborers, the teams, the professionals. If you don't have these resources here, you will not survive in the very, very fierce competition situation in Kenya. So in return, such competition will also make the employer, the government, save the money and also have the better, better building projects and also have the better roads here and there. This is the way of standing out for us.
Wow. Okay. Thanks. I'll go to the next question from Albert. He says, with the Kenyan experience, how are you able to manage stakeholders' expectations?
Sorry, Albert, how to, sorry, what? I didn't get
how
you.
How are you able to manage stakeholder expectations?
The cause expectation.
Stakeholder expectations. There's a different people you work with. So the government wants this, the contractors you work with want this. How do you manage everybody's expectations and balance them out?
Okay, expectation. Yes. All the teams, high level and also the lower level subcontractors, we have the expectation. So mainly for the expectation from the employer and also the government, you have to hand over a very good project and the roads or maybe the buildings. This is the expectation from the high level. How to manage the expectation? Okay, we are facing here risk, there problem, and side issues. The attitude for the contractor is very, very important. Sometimes, okay, subcontractors or contractors, they don't treat the issues given from the site very seriously. Or sometimes we submit some letters and communications or emails to the employer. They don't treat them seriously. So first, I want to talk about the attitude. That's why I'm using attitude decides everything for the ending. How to manage, and then you got the expectation from the high level. You collaborate with other people, your team, suppliers, subcontractors, and also your colleagues working on site. You have to unite all the resources and even maybe learn from the past experience. Then you could get the expectation from the employer and also the government fully achieved. Thank you.
All right, thank you. There's a question from Jean. She's asking, what are the complexities of being both an investor and a contractor for a large infrastructure project?
Sorry, guys, I didn't see the problem. Okay, how you? I got, yeah. Knowing that working with the government is the drawback, especially in payments. How have you mitigated the late payment as a contractor? Personally, we don't have very professional ways. We have contracts. The contracts that you could not suspend the work because you are entitled of the interest. But we don't want interest from the employer. We want payment from the employer. Sometimes we are really struggled, and we talk to the employer, we talk to the resident engineer, we talk to the architect. Personally, I don't have so how to say effective ways of doing this. It's a big headache for all the contractors.
Okay. All right. So Jean was asking, from your presentation, you've explained that your company is both an investor and a contractor, right?
Yeah.
How do you balance the two? And what are those complexities of where you're both in a project?
You mean balance the investment and also the project?
Yes.
Maybe I didn't explain the very detailedly. For the investment, it was not the Kenya branch's own investment.
Okay.
The investment money is from the Beijing headquarters, because they consider Kenya as the Eastern Africa country, have a very potential future, and the climate here and the people here are very friendly, and the future is potential market for AVIC to stay here for long. That's why they put money here for AVIC Park. They also put money there for the GTC Tower, and they put money there for Two River.
All right. Yeah. Okay. I think that clarifies. Joseph asks if someone has interesting projects in Kenya with good exit, how can one reach PAN? So Joseph, I will post PAN's details on the chat, and it's also in the presentation, so I will share that. Albert is asking, have you experienced a changed project management environment since you started working, or is the bureaucracy still the same over the 10 years you've been here? And any advice you might have around that?
You mean give up doing project management construction and then doing the project environment?
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe in the future, I don't know. For now, I'm still have my disadvantages and also weakness to perfect myself. I need to learn a lot to make sure my work and also the board members to facing less and less risky from my point. So give me some time. Let me fix myself first.
Okay. So just from your experience, when you first started, how was the project management being handled compared to now? Are you seeing any difference in the industry?
You mean how to handle the project management?
Yes. Is it getting any better? Is it getting worse? Are you seeing any changes in your industry now, as far as project management is concerned?
You mean compared to the previous years?
Yes.
The difference. There are some of the changes from the past time compared to the current time, right? Yes, I can feel. Previously, the marketing was not so competitive. It's not so fierce competition, and and now, as I mentioned in my presentation, you have to make your knowledge store for a lot of new models. You could not only you could not only focus on the project which attracted so many people. You have to stand out. You have to, what I mean, you cannot put yourself there in the fierce competition any longer. You have to get more knowledge and also try to explore more new models, then introduce such models to the employer. Okay, you don't have enough money, we can put money, and then we work together. We involve the suppliers and also the subcontractors, our lower part, to be there together with the contractor to make yourself not only the contractor but the contract team, even together with the consultants team. We are now at VKNG here. For the design issues, we are not mainly focused on that, but we have the partnership with our consultant team, especially the rules.
Yeah.
Also building. So it will make yourself much more, stronger, jointing with the people.
Okay. I think I'll combine a few questions because they ask similar questions. So the Chinese contractors are known to execute projects very quickly compared to other contractors. And I think people are wondering what gives you that advantage and how do you manage to execute that quickly? What is that is different or that allows you to execute that quickly?
We are foreigners here. Even me, for myself, I'm here 10 years. I'm familiar with the climate here. I'm familiar with the people here, consultants team, employers team. I have many local friends here, but we don't have so much other, issues. Like our main focus is on work.
Okay.
We work overnight. Sometimes we work overnight for the project tendering. We involved many people stay in Kenya discussing about it here and there. But I think for this question, the mainly how I think the advanced techniques and also professionals imported from China is the key.
Yes.
We import the laborers and also the professionals, engineers from China, which we have already, they got the advanced experience for the roads, buildings here, and then we put them back. We involve them from other countries to Kenya. For example, at VKNG, we emphasize, we're focusing on Kenya, this marketing a lot. So sometimes we put some of the other labor resources from Tanzania and also Ethiopia and even Rwanda. We attract more professionals here for Kenya.
Okay.
So you have 10 people, but for me, I have 20 people. You have professionals, I also have professionals. It will be much more stronger. Your inputs will be very important.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Niraj is asking, how do you handle changes on large projects that happen in the middle of the project? Yes, changes to scope, changes to direction, and is it difficult to get paid for such changes? Because looking at the kind of figures you are displaying, I can imagine what it takes if someone says they're changing direction or they're changing something in the project. How do you handle those kind of changes for the large projects?
Yeah, actually, this is quite common, especially for small projects. Larger projects, also, okay, we also have the redesign issues. For example, the Terminal 1A. The Terminal 1A, JKIA Terminal 1A project, previously it was designed for domestic arrival. And after we got the project, 1 year later, it was the big redesign issues came from the domestic arrival to the international arrival. That's why we have the international arrival there in Terminal 1A. So this is a very big redesign for the contractor, even for the consultants. So it has led to a big variation and a big amount of additional budget. For us, how to manage the design, we sit with the consult team and also the employer team together, because for the contractor we have so many years experience in China and also the other countries. Is when we have the redesign issues, we could not only rely on the consultant team. It will be double work. You have to sit with the employer, give the professional advices from your point of contractor side, because sometimes maybe the employer and the consultants give an idea which is not so practical, which is not so easy for the contractor to construct on site. So you should be involved in advance when they are talking about the redesign. It will make yourself as the contractor much more comfortable and experienced when you are facing the redesign. And of course, the payment issues and also the other, coordination issues. It's about negotiation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I think I'll just take one last one, and then I think we can actually close it out for the evening. So I think, but I'll also send you some of the questions, then we can reply on email. What is the next big thing you're seeing in the built environment for the region?
What is the next thing?
Yes, the next big thing, especially in our region.
For Kenya?
Yes, for Kenya and East Africa.
Let's defeat the COVID-19, please.
Okay.
In fact, it has already, affect the ways of living and also working here, especially the most Eastern Africa countries.
Yes.
Yeah, the flight here and there, the high increase of labor costs, increment costs, and also the customers clearance cost. These are all eating the money from the KRA treasury, from your tax. So we need to make all this survive very quickly and live with that and get a very better environment for us, for all the people.
All right. Okay, I think I'll ask the last question. How do you handle being asked to give bribes, or how do you handle that? Because I know in Kenya it's a very big issue. How you handle corruption in that space?
For the corruption?
Yes, bribes. Are you asked to give bribes? How do you handle that? I'm sure you can't give examples, but how do you handle that situation?
You mean how to handle the corruption in Kenya?
Yes.
In Kenya?
Yes.
I don't think for me I could answer such a big question.
No. Just in your space, do you see it happening, and how do you tackle it?
I can share with you my understanding in China, how China to handle the corruption. The law, the regulations are very, very strict. I'm not saying in China we don't have corruption. How? People, if there's people, there is corruption. But how to handle it in during the past 5 years, our chairman Xi had a very strong hand handling the corruption, using the regulations and also the law.
Yeah.
So the government must have very strong teams checking all this, and all the society will have the supervision system to help the government aiming on solve the issues. Okay. Otherwise, it's not work for only the government officers. Yeah, whole society's thinking and system work.
Okay. All right. I think there was a last question asking how the Kenyan culture has affected the projects. Any positive effects, any negative effects about how the Kenyan culture affects the project?
Thank you. This is a very, I'm like this, I like this question so much. You know, for Chinese living in Kenya for almost 10 years, we have a very big difference in our mind. All the Chinese, they can feel the big difference between Kenya culture and also Chinese culture. How has Kenya culture affected the projects? I think I got trained a lot because Kenya culture, but normally we could see the Western. In China, we separate Eastern culture and also the Western culture. Western culture mainly from the Europe. It has a big difference between the Chinese Eastern culture and also the Western culture. The Kenya culture here, I could feel for myself. I could feel the consultant team and also the employer team. They are very friendly. They are dealing with the issues. First, there is a very big difference between Chinese culture and Kenya culture. Sometimes Chinese focus on the mood or the temper more than the issue itself. You got my point. I found my consultant team and also the project team, the engineers, especially the professional engineers, they put more focus on the issues itself. When you are going to distract me from the issues to other things, sorry, let's back to the issues here. You talk to me about how to solve this specific problem on site. We don't talk about others. This is the big difference from Kenya culture, and I got learned from Kenya people, engineers, the suppliers, subcontractors, a lot from here. Any positive effects? Normally, for the when we also have the virtual meeting nowadays dealing with river management because we have the investment there. Also, some of the other defects liability period of my project product. They are focusing on, as I said, they are focusing on things listed there, but they don't. How to say it? They could finish these issues from day to day and the day after tomorrow. Within the week, we can see things are moving. We have the progress there. And another big difference between Kenya and Chinese people. I know Kenya people wake up very early every day. This is very big difference. Sometimes my colleague, my architect called me around 6 in the morning. I said, sorry, I didn't get up yet. But they have already wake up from 5:30 even, and then starting from their home to the Nairobi town at 6 o'clock in the Mombasa Road. Okay. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Actually have to kind of close off. I've posted your email on the chat for anyone who wants to reach out to Pan directly.
Yes.
I'm sure we can continue from the discussions from there. And I just really want to appreciate your time. And so, Peter, of course, thank you so much for linking us with Pan. I think this was an amazing experience. For the members, I will set up your PDUs automatically in the next 2 weeks for this specific event, and you should receive them in your mail. And I'll also share the presentation that Pan shared with us for reference and for any other questions. So thank you so much, Pan. We really appreciate your inputs. I mean, I was blown away by some of the projects you've done, and it's amazing to see how you're adding value to the organization. So anyone else would like to reach out to Pan directly, we've sent his email in the chat. And I think we can wish. Sospita, I see your hand. Did you want to share something?
Yeah, I don't know whether we give Tao an opportunity just to say hi to the team.
Oh, sorry. Actually, I hadn't noticed. Tao, are you there? Tao, are you there? I think I can see him, but I'm not sure I can unmute. Yes, but of course, we'll keep talking, and please feel free to reach out on email. Of course, VP events as well. You can just reply back to the email where you received the link, and we really appreciate it. Jean, do you have any last comments before we close?
Thanks, Irene. That was a good conversation, and we really want to thank Pan for that. I think it gave us some really good insights. I especially like that you enjoyed our Kenya culture and that you can see that there's some positive effects of working with Kenyans, and that we do have a good work ethic. There was a very good question on building capacity, which I think I would just like to ask Pan that question. Pan, how do you build? I also realized, or you mentioned that you bring in a lot of professionals from outside, but how do you build local capacity so that we can make use of the Kenyans and they can also get the same kind of techniques and professionalism and competencies that maybe that you're bringing in from outside? Just as a last question.
Thank you. Actually, for why we could not imported the professionals from China and also European and the other America. We don't do this, but we involve the key people to be here to make the local team more stronger. For two contractors company, for example, IBG, the other one. If one of the company use the local capacity and local teams here, you will have the better cost control than the others. Local here we can save cost, but for the foreigners here, you use one number of Chinese working on site, it will be much more expensive than you use 100 people employed, 100 people local Kenyans here. We import these people from China or from European here. They have many valuable working experience. We involve them here to train our local team. As I said in my presentation, we have 60 engineers, including the management. Okay, not only the engineers on construction, we also have the other, for example, admin office, finance department, marketing department. But we have 120 local engineers in ABAC engineering here. These 100 people, local employees, local engineers, are the key persons and the manpower of the whole management team of ABAC Kenya. So we are also got a lot of benefits from such training to the local capacity. This is for the management, the engineer, and for the laborers on site, all Kenyans. I'll give you an example. The Two River Shopping Mall, the big project. At the peak time in 2013, the peak time for the local laborers on site is around 1,500 working together. All local capacity. We value our team in local. We make our cost much more competitive. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much for that. I think just to wind up, thank you, Pan, with your team. Thank you for coming. Thank you for letting us hear a lot of your experiences and for making the time. And on behalf of the PMI Kenya chapter, we would like to invite you back, actually. I know we'll work with Irene and Abdul so that we can see how you can maybe come back on a different topic, maybe come back and delve, more specifically into the projects, and then we can learn a little bit more from you. So thank you so much. And Irene, maybe you can close off.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. Enjoy your evening, everyone, and we will see you in our next session. And stay safe, please.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Peter. Thank you.